What's up, the squad? Back with another video. I seen that's how it's going down. Make sure you hit the like button, hit that subscribe button for me, please. Y'all see it right here. Ilhan Omar net worth. You got 2019, 45,000. 2025, 30 million. Congressional salary is 174,000 a year. That is a 66%, 66,000 increase since 2019. Says, how is this possible? I'm not gonna lie, it's definitely crazy. I'll tell you that much. It's definitely crazy. One thing about it, I do apologize for dropping these videos so late. Most of y'all know that I do live in Indiana, and y'all know the IU game is literally on everywhere in my house. So definitely, I don't know who y'all go for, but one thing about it is that I'm definitely proud of those boys. Definitely proud of them. Young men, I should say, young men. But one thing about it, definitely crazy. What's going down, with Ilhan Omar. Guy here, Stephen Miller, says just dropped what may be the biggest fire scheme in U.S. history. A lot of it, as they say, multiple times, that I've seen, is that Ilhan Omar is literally in the middle of it all, calling her the godmother of it.
Believe that the Somali fraud operation in Minnesota is the single greatest theft of taxpayer dollars through welfare fraud in American history. We believe that we have only scratched the very top of the surface of how deep this goes. And you're familiar with all the scams with pretending that children have autism who are not in fact autistic, with pretending to enroll people in food programs when in fact nobody was ever enrolled, and engaging in massive fraud, lying, and theft and grift on a scale we've never seen before in American history. The total bill, the total tab for this is going to be far beyond the numbers we've already seen reported. We believe the state government is fully complicit in this scheme, and we believe that what we are going to uncover is going to shock the American people. Look, based on the records that we already have, and this is a significant undercount, by the way, 75% of the Somali population in Minnesota is on welfare. But that's likely a significant undercount of just how much of a financial burden the Somali refugee population is imposing on this country.
Come on now. I'm telling y'all, one thing about it is that it's going to be more and more coming out each and every day. I'm already starting to see on how much things, are coming out each and every day. And I know y'all are. Now, I feel like it's going to get worse. You got it right here. Investigators are now looking into Ilhan Omar possible involvement in Minnesota's Somali fraud scandal. Says great, even more reason to expel her from Congress, denaturalize, and deport. Check it out right here.
I actually spent last week in Minneapolis, and there's two parallel stories. I mean, there is a panic within the Somali community. They've been found out for these massive fraud schemes, daycares, transportation, fake autism services, the whole 9 yards. But the political question is very important, and my sources in Minneapolis state government say that there are open inquiries into the potential involvement at the highest level of Minnesota politics. And so I think people will be taking a hard look not only at Governor Tim Walz, but also Congresswoman Ilhan Omar and State Attorney General Keith Ellison. We know that they have connections with convicted fraudsters. The question is, were they merely complicit in these schemes, or were they part of a broader conspiracy? We don't have strong evidence now, but I think people are starting to take a look.
Well, what we do know is that Ellison promised these guys he'd make the investigation go away, and then he got money as a donation. We know that whistleblowers alerted the Walz administration, and he didn't take any action. And we know a couple of these people, like Omar, got money from these convicted fraudsters as political donations. Are you saying that there could have been a conspiracy to move the welfare fraud money into their war chests?
It's certainly possible, and I think the person, and really I'm grateful for it, Scott Bessent, the Treasury Secretary, has all the tools at his disposal to actually investigate the money trail, to figure out how the money flowed between these fake nonprofits and Somali fraudsters and Minnesota politicians. And I'll tell you, the atmosphere in Minneapolis was electric. I mean, people had the sense of anticipation. Something big is coming. And look, I hope they get to the bottom of it, because we're talking about, some estimates upward of $9 billion stolen. these politicians seem to, at a minimum, have turned a blind eye to the fraud, or even directed people below them to take steps so that it wasn't uncovered. This scandal is not over, and I think it could end with significant action. And again, I think Secretary Bessent is the right man for the job.
Definitely. One thing about it, is that I want them to be able to find more and more and more, when it comes down to it. I know a lot of, individuals are, they need, prison time. They need, get her deported, get her out. I understand all of that. But I truly, truly, truly want them, to gather as much information as they possibly can. I don't want them. So why I say this, I know I have a lot of people, that's always asking. The reason why I say this is because what I don't want to happen is they find something minor to where like they take it and sweep it up under the rug and nothing happens. I want them to find everything they possibly can on all these individuals when it comes to Ilhan, Keith, Tim, Fry, any individuals, especially, those other Somalians, any individual. And every individual, I want them to be able to find that. And, I want them to, obviously get it to where it sticks, to where it's not swept up on the rug. So we know, they've definitely, this is that accountability, especially, with setting that example, because y'all see on how bad things are getting everywhere else, especially, Ohio as well. One thing about it is that it's cooked. I'm not even gonna lie. It says it has been revealed that Ilhan Omar attempted to launder $1 million in the form of a grant to a Somalia substance abuse clinic. So not only this, but there's other things that she has done. Trust and believe. This is just one of them. Check it out.
Covered the other day, and one of our spending bills making its way through Congress was a $1 million earmark from Representative Ilhan Omar of Minnesota, which was an earmark that was supposedly going to a substance abuse clinic, which actually happened to be housed in a restaurant and run by 3 individuals that share the same residential address, according to their IRS paperwork. Tons of red flags. So this is what we saw with the fraud involving the daycare centers. Now we see other earmarks coming directly from members of Congress where it seems fraud is being perpetrated as well. So I raised the issue, and fortunately, the House has now stripped that earmark out of that spending bill. But again, this is how easy money has been flowing to bad actors in Minnesota.
Y'all see it. Definitely y'all see it. One thing about it, there's more and more things, that, Ilhan is definitely, in a sense, putting out, making herself look bad. I'm not even gonna lie, making herself look bad. They're doing everything and anything to show. They're showing a lot. They're showing just the way that they're acting, what they're doing. Anytime they get on these platforms, anything, these speeches. Says Omar under fire after profane attack on America during migrant policy speech. Definitely insane. I'll tell you that. Check it out right here.
The one place where we thought we would never experience this is the U.S. goddamn states.
And that literally just goes to show you on how that she doesn't care about the United States. She truly doesn't. Check it out.
Somalis are not terrorizing this nation. We are helping it thrive. Somalis have always seen themselves as a fabric of this nation. So not only are we not going anywhere, we are not going to allow anybody to make us feel less Minnesotan or less American. Somalis.
One thing about it is that those individuals, they aren't Americans. I'm not even about to put that out as that. I truly don't look at them, as, Americans, just for the simple fact of what they're doing, what they're causing. And what makes me even more mad is that you literally have Americans that are, and they're out there protesting. They're out there doing the most. And they're supporting these individuals that are literally taking money and doing whatever they want to do. I truly cannot stand that. One thing about it, this is a post by the White House, and it says here, this from, President Trump. In Minnesota, there's too much media attention on ICE, who have removed some of the worst people that, obviously, unalivers and criminals in the world. People my fault, y'all, little word salad. People let into our country by crooked Joe Biden's horrendous open border policy, and not enough attention paid to the staggering sums of money stolen from the state by corrupt Minnesota politicians. It's truly sickening. I'll tell y'all that. This is another post by the White House. Says ICE is removing some of the most violent criminals in the world from our country and sending them back to where they belong. Minnesota is trying to stop that. Do you really want those, individuals, out that are literally doing this? It's truly sad, that people are supporting this. Truly sad and truly sickening. One thing about it says President Trump had just announced that Ilhan Omar must be sent back to Somalia due to her participation in $1 billion fraud scandal. So President Trump is moving, and he's definitely, acting on a lot. I'm telling y'all. Definitely. Says here there's $19 billion in Minnesota Somali fraud. Fake Congresswoman Ilhan Omar, a constant complainer who hates the USA, knows everything there is to know. She should be in jail or even worse, punishment, sent back to Somalia. Considered one of the absolutely worst countries in the world. She could help to make Somalia great again. Make sure y'all hit the like button, hit that subscribe button. Definitely appreciate y'all. Much love to everybody. Love y'all so much, and I appreciate y'all so much for everything that y'all do. Catch y'all next one.